Hi, welcome to Dead Air Live. I'm Jean Flanagan, if you don't know me by now. And I want to introduce you to our logo, which you haven't seen in a long time. This logo was created in the 1970s. And it's on our website, which has had problems of late, but it's back up at deadairlive.org. And we have on Blip TV all our shows from the last year, so you can find us either through the SCAT website, scataccess.org, or our website, deadairlive.org, or go straight to Blip TV and look up Dead Air Live. So we are actually coming up to this century, this millennium. And so tonight's going to be a collaborative show. We're going to show lots of tapes. It gets a little hectic around here when that happens. But let's go to the first tape, a little short piece that I did called Cherry Tree.
The water was deep and the current was strong. Beyond the rock I tried to hold on. I could not reach the other side. My soul cried out against the rising tide. I cried, Lord, let me see the light. Oh, Lord, let me see the light. The lights of dawn came over the hill. The water went down and the wind lay still. Was then I knew I was not alone as I turned round for the journey home. I said, Lord, I can see the light. Oh, Lord, I can see the light.
Okay, welcome back. That was that was Barry and Holly Tashian doing that little ditty, and that is the Charles River and a favorite cherry tree of mine off of Mem Drive. Well, Ricardo, what do you have for us tonight?
I have a tape, a DVD rather. It's called In Your Chair, and it was produced by a student of filmmaking in Boston. This is funny because it's a combination of carpentry and filmmaking or videotaping. Combine the two aspects and you get a production of videotaping. You get a production on carpentry. So I guess the explanation of this tape is about how carpentry and videotaping or productions work the same way, because both are productions. So you produce...
Yep, you create something.
You produce a show and you produce a final product, which is a home or a building or whatever. So the show is about In Your Chair.
Okay, let's watch from our chairs.
How we do things.
Put my hands on something, see what happens, and then respond to what happened by changing the way I put my hands on it.
One of the things I like a lot about the work is the interrelationship between people and their lives and the physical buildings we're doing for them. My name is Henry Stone, and it's my company, Henry Stone Builders, that's doing the work here. I've been doing the work for 35 years and had my own company for 25 at least. I love doing design. I still do it. Almost all the jobs we do, I design. I love being a carpenter. And I like the other aspects, meeting with the people, all of it. But any one of them too much, and I get restless. I don't like it if it goes too long without getting to swing the hammer. Randy worked on with another friend of mine who's a roofer. Rick worked for another builder. With the exception of Ben, who's only been with me 2 years now or something. Everybody else has worked for me 20 years and more.
There's something cool about the angle of shooting from the hip too, because it's a sort of an unfamiliar place to see people from. I actually grew up in an artist community, and my father was a painter, and my mother's a model, and my mother ended up also being an artist and writer. And I knew as a kid that one thing I did not want to do was be an artist, but it's the kind of thing that you really don't have a choice. You're kind of stuck with it. It's an instinct thing. I walk out on the street, I have the camera attached to my body. As I walk through changing light, I change, like with a manual camera, change the shutter speed and the aperture as the light changes, and then I see something and just instinctively take a picture. Developing roles, and I go through stuff and I find out what's happening, where my mind is going. It's a window into myself that there isn't anything else I've found that will give me that.
Working on a house is a teamwork. It's not just an individual work. It's the same thing as working on a film. All those elements, they have to come together. So in a sense, both are the same kind of a production, because you have to plan ahead and then slowly bring it all together to a final product, being painting the house or cutting the film and editing suite. I produce shows for community television. I produce, before community television, I produced shows in Mexico City, commercials and, small documentaries. And now I'm still doing it. I mean, once you're behind the camera or in front of the camera, you get hooked forever. That's how I look at it. It's no way to go back.
And I like to take a job every now and again that scares me. It's a little more than something I've done before, or technically more complicated, or interpersonally more complicated. Sometimes in the middle of it I think I'm crazy, and then in the end it ends up being really satisfying to work through the problems. After 35 years, I still wander around in the afternoon when everyone's left and just sort of bathe in the accomplishment. If you could disassociate the money from the work, I would love that. Somebody just put a few $1,000s in my bank account on this side and let me do the work on that side. I'd love to disassociate the two. No, I love the work. I do love it. If I couldn't do the physical work, would I want to continue doing it? I suspect not, or at least not in this form. I don't want to be a designer full-time, which is the other obvious option. And for me, I think what I'm looking for, I don't know what to call it, but I'm looking for some way to evolve to something that's probably an extension of this. I mean, it need not be tremendously direct, but I would like it to be somehow founded in the physicality of building, whether I'm doing the carpentry or not. I mean, it might be something like, I don't know, studying cathedral roofs in Europe or something, but I really don't know, and I'm happy to do the work for the foreseeable future.
We put messages.
Yeah, inside
Inside of the wall, we put Henry Stone Builders was here, or this is the home of Eileen, or this, Rick was here.
So then
the date.
in 20 years when somebody shows up to fix it again, and they're halfway through like we're up here, who the hell did this?
Smells like you here in this kitchen, Eileen. I am tired of the bullshit, Eileen. A dose of you is what I'm missing. Outside a storm is blowing up, wind is whistling. The bedlam borders on buffoonery. My spirit's shaking like it's weak in the knees. Shaking like it's weak, like it's weak.
We're coming up.
Hi, welcome back. That was Ricardo's piece called In Your Chair. Next we're going to have Mike Hall. And Mike, when we see you, we know we're going to see video feedback.
Yeah, I'm predictable that way. Yeah. So I've got a piece that demonstrates the use of optical resonance in portraiture. And I've discovered that with certain colors, it's possible to hold a steady pattern on a person's face. because the characteristics of their skin, the color, the reflectivity, and the texture will allow certain colors to hold steady. So I call that optical resonance, and that's what I'm studying in the clip.
And you have a studio your studio moved to Brookline, right?
In Alston now.
In Alston, okay.
Yes, I have a larger studio, and actually I'm hosting an open studio event on Saturday, February 7th, for anybody who's interested. This is on 119 Braintree Street in Alston. And if for more information, you can contact me, Michael, at mycallvideo.com.
Okay, mycallvideo.com.
mycallvideo.com.
Okay, let's see what he's doing.
Optical resonance theory. Optical resonance occurs when a live image of a physical surface is continually superimposed upon itself. This causes an exaggeration of all prominent visual features of the projection surface. Optical resonance is analogous to acoustic resonance. An acoustically live room resonates at hundreds, possibly thousands of frequencies. The same thing happens with light when projected upon a live human being. Optical resonance can be triggered through a slight imbalance in a video frame's level of luminance or chroma. Luminant resonance begins on the rounded surfaces which can provide focused spots of reflected light. Chromatic resonance occurs when there is a close similarity between the color received by the lens and the color that is cast upon the subject by the video projector. This effect can be described as color cycling because minute shifts in the chroma balance of each video frame will often result in a rapid phase shift through the rainbow. Remarkable features of optical resonance is the emergent graphical effects that can be achieved. These effects are often the result of a subtle blending of luminous and chromatic resonance factors, and an exact understanding of the contribution of each may not be possible. But at the moment when either or both forms of optical resonance occur, even more graphical effects are generated by programs within the camera and the projector, which work below the normal levels of perception. These programs attempt to enhance the contrast of selected areas of each frame to compensate for a relatively grainy resolution. This sequence has been reduced in speed by 5 times to illustrate how digital frame processing effects can occur. Video projectors attempt to sharpen text glyphs for business presentations. Video cameras attempt to sharpen the lines of detail on a focused frame. All of these programs are designed to exist just beneath the level of perception. In some cases, a dark line will catch the attention of either the camera's processor or the projectors, or both, which demonstrates that luminous resonance can originate in either very bright or very dark regions of a frame. name is Mike Hall, and I approve of this work of art.
Oh, cool.
Oh, we're back on.
Hi, welcome back to Dead Air Live. I'm Jean Flanagan, and this is Jessica Barnthouse. And she's our new intern here at SCAT, and so she's here on Tuesday nights, so she's helping us and brought in some tapes for tonight. And what did you bring us?
The first one that everyone's about to see is from when I studied abroad in Australia. My second semester of my junior year of college, I lived with a group of Aborigines at a protest site, and the protest site is actually 37 or 38 years old now, and it's
Wow.
a group of people who camp out in tents since 1971 in front of the Australian Parliament House, like in the lawns there, and they live there, and it's a permanent protest site. So I camped out there for 5 weeks and filmed a short documentary about why they're there, like what kind of message they're asking for. Basically, they're fighting for tribal sovereignty because they've never actually signed any treaties with any of the white people that live in Australia. So this is a video montage of the end of it. This was like one of the first, this was while I was still learning how to do editing and everything. So.
Okay, great. Let's watch the Aboriginal tent protests. Hi, and welcome back. Well, thanks, Jessica. We're going to do a little more world traveling later. So your last name is Barnthouse.
Yes.
Where does that come from?
No one actually knows. It's kind of interesting, actually. My aunt and her family has tried to do a genealogy research, and the farthest they can trace it back to is Butler County, Ohio, which is where my dad grew up, actually, before the Revolutionary War.
Wow.
So it's just a very, very American name, I guess. Not quite sure. My mom thinks that, I've heard Scandinavian, I've heard German, I've heard Scottish. My mom thinks that it's somebody, because it's spelled Barn Tea House. So my mom thinks that like it was the Scottish guy who owned a barn plus a house, and was like, my name is Barn House.
Barn to house. Okay, well, you have another video for us.
Yes, this one was actually part of the first editing that I ever did on film. It was the first project I ever did. It was in preparation of going to Australia, because I knew I wanted to make the film in Australia, but I didn't know anything about Final Cut Express or Final Cut Pro. I didn't know anything about filming or interviewing people. So I made a film about a dance team at my school. I call it a slant documentary, actually, because all the interviews were fake, but all their performances were real, and it was a real dance team at my school. But they were called What the Shoot Dance Team, and I have to say shoot because I can't say what it really is. But it's basically just a dance team at our school that was formed as sort of like a movement against like traditional dance teams, like you know, colleges and universities a lot of times have like traditional dance teams, and they have like a hip hop team, and yeah, we had a swing team, and like we actually had a belly dancing team too, which they actually had a war with. Basically, it was all fun and games, but it was a lot of fun.
Okay, let's watch the What the Dance Team.
Stretching. Which is when you clench your giant muscles. One, two, three.
This guy is so funny.
Hi, and welcome back. That clip you just saw at the end of Jessica's, I call reading Dave Barry. So we'll see a few more clips of that later. What we're going to see now is actually a tape that I made from a couple of years ago. My nephew was at Mass Art doing sculpture and ironwork, and they do an iron pour twice a year. They do one around Halloween and they do one in the spring. And so I took my video camera and filmed and set it to, what's the name of the show, name of the group? Exploding Plastic and Tripwire. So let's go see the iron pour. Hi, and welcome back. That was an iron pour at Mass Art. So you can look up on Mass Art's website if you want to find out that they do a Saturday night around October and somewhere in the spring. So they're fun and they're like $5. So there's great cheap entertainment. So we got JoJo now. Hi, JoJo.
Hi, Jean. How you doing?
Good. We haven't been together on the set in a long time.
This is exciting. I love the backdrop here.
Thanks.
It's fantastic.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yep, I painted that when we had our old studio space, so I figured it was time for it to come on air.
Well, what our audience doesn't know is that you can make backdrops, bake a cake, and show up at a meeting all in 1 hour. That's our Jean Flanagan.
And JoJo shows up with tape. So what do you have with us for us tonight, JoJo?
Oh, well, I took the first animation class here at SCAT, Somerville Community Access TV, with Karen Aqua and her husband, Ken Fields, who did the sound. And it was a great class. There was I think about 13 of us. And we had to do something about Somerville. We had to pick things that represent our city. So we did transitions, and we all did quirky sounds. We gave them to Ken. We put it into a film, and this is what we have. Voila.
So this is your class collaborative?
Yes, class collaborative. You get it.
Great. Okay, well, let's watch this.
Good morning.
Hi, and welcome back. That was Urban Jumble by JoJo, and we're doing a tape show, a collaborative tape show, so we're seeing tapes from all sorts of different members of our group. And so Charlie's going to be our next person.
That's right. Well, so I had the assignment of, like everyone else, coming up with I thought they were supposed to be funny pieces of tape, so I did have a funny scene. It turned out that it's only like 20 seconds long, so it's going to have a long introduction, which is on video. So we could just roll the video, and we'll just keep talking. Right?
Okay, let's.
So this is from a trip that I took with my partner Joyce about in 2000, I think it was. And here we are in Bodrum, Turkey, which is in the southwest corner of Turkey, by the Aegean Sea. And here we are, zooming out from, it's a resort town around there. And we're going to take off in a moment, driving down the road on a trip to a place called Pamukkale, which we don't get to in this video. Now, Turkey's an interesting place because it's a very, very old place, civilization. We zoomed out from a very old mosque. And but then, of course, there's all the cars and everything else. And they haven't had time to develop, for example, a telephone network, but they just leaped ahead into the cell phone world. And everybody has cell phones and stuff like that. So there's this incredible mix all the time of the modern and the very old. And so here we are, we're just driving down the road along the coast. It's a beautiful country. This is a little hotel along the way, and off to the side there are olive trees all over the place. That was really impressive, how many olive trees there were and how much what a central part of the culture and the economy those things are, because it's very, very dry there, and they'll just grow anywhere. They're unbelievable. So here we just came in and had to stop in this little town, and there's a traffic light, and here we are waiting for the light, and here's this woman who's trying to get her donkey across the road. And we're all waiting because the light's red for us and green for her. The donkey decided not to go. And I'm going to have to leave so Rich can get in here, but you can see the rest of what happens. Just as the light turns for us and we get to go, the donkey changes its mind. So kill my mic, I'm going to take it off.
Pop the laugh track on.
Okay.
No, there's a laugh track.
Yeah. Oh, we can see through there.
So funny.
Yeah, that's what Charlie said.
He's talking about being an English major.
Kind of hairy in the control room.
Hi, welcome back.
Hi.
Rich's comment was it's a little hairy in the control room tonight with all those tapes and computers and DVDs and mini DVs. It's challenging. So anyway, here we are. We're back.
Yeah, I just got out from behind the switcher, and now Charlie, who's directing the show, who you just saw, is now switching.
Right.
So it's like
when
that.
we pull everybody out of their job and somebody either takes over the job or it just doesn't happen for 5 minutes, it's a little challenging. Okay, which shows you how many people it takes to actually put a show on air.
Yes, and screwing a light bulb.
Yeah. So you built us a tape this weekend.
I did build us a tape this weekend, and with the help of Bill Barrell, we can now see it on the air. This tape is I ran into this guy, Div Kai, I do some acting work sometimes, and I ran into him we were doing a radio play of A Christmas Carol, in Lowell, and Div was entertaining us. There was all this time we had to wait before they recorded us, and Div was doing everything from Star Wars and all this stuff. He knew it from memory, and we were just awestruck by this. And I said, Div, I've got to record you sometime. And he said, all right. And so I got together with Div over the weekend on Boston Common, and I recorded him doing the entire fight scene from Star Wars 3 between Yoda and the Emperor. Now, he does a really good voice impersonation of that, and I matched Div up with the actual movie, and Div is dead on accurate. So I made a little mashup of from the movie and what Div does, and I tried to do a little editing and had fun with it.
Okay,
So
great.
That's kind of what it is.
Well, let's watch Yoda and the Emperor battle it once again.
Yes.
Hello, everyone. My name is Div, and I'd like to thank Dead Air Live for giving me the opportunity to be on here on this program. And I hope you guys enjoy what I do, and hope you guys want to know a little bit more about me. And let's take it from here, I guess.
Okay, how did you get? What interests you about Star Wars movies?
I don't know, the whole storyline about, and I love the whole fact of the Jedi and the Sith, the bad guys and the good guys, for those who don't know what Star Wars is. And it's just how they use all sorts of different types of characters to portray, to tell the storyline for the entire series. And, especially the villains. The villains, they're so evil and yet charming at the same time.
So how long did it take you to memorize this book?
Couple of times when I saw the movies, it took a couple of times for me to memorize everything, and I like it. I even have it down, and I don't realize I'm doing it half the time.
I hear a new apprentice you have, Emperor. Or should I call you Darth Sidious?
Master Yoda, you survived.
Surprise? Your arrogance blinds you, Master Yoda. Now you will experience the full power of the dark side.
Lightning bolts.
I have waited a long time for this moment, my little green friend.
I have waited a long time for this moment, my little green friend. Lost, the Jedi are no more. Not if anything to say about it. I have. At an end, your rule is, and not short enough it was. If so powerful you are, why leave?
You will not stop me. Darth Vader will become more powerful than either of us.
You cannot stop me. Darth Vader will become more powerful than either of us. Faith in your apprentice, misplaced maybe. As is your faith in the dark side of the Force. That's about it.
Oh my god, this guy is so funny. He's talking about being an English major.
Hi, and welcome back. We're just watching whatever random things. I actually didn't see these before they came in, so I'm watching right along with you to see what interesting, and hence the name of the show, blah blah blah, because it's just about all of us doing whatever it is we feel like doing. So
Yeah.
we know JoJo offers us a lot of interesting shows and brings in a lot of interesting guests. So she's going to talk about another tape that is from a previous show.
Yeah, we're doing wheatgrass with Randy Jacobs, and Randy grows the wheatgrass, and he supplies wheatgrass to various restaurants around the city and to a lot of the major stores that we know of. And the wheatgrass is good. It has a lot of great stuff, but I don't want to ruin the tape. It's all in the tape. So
It's all in the tape.
yeah, so let's go to right to the tape, I guess, and see Randy.
Okay, let's go look at some wheatgrass.
Now, I have a couple more tapes. One is a minute
and I want to welcome you to our organic grow room. What a wonderful place to invite you to be and to share a whole life's worth of what lies in store for all of us. Wheatgrass is such a powerful opportunity for me to be able to elevate my body's ability to protect me. All of what the body needs, all of the raw materials, oxygen and hydrogen, amino acids, are all contained in its most abundant source in grasses, living, organic, raw material from which life is presenting you everything that you need in order to protect and elevate your ability to reproduce, for cells, for growth, for rejuvenation. Everything that your body needs is contained in abundance, in its most abundant form, right here in live grasses and sprouts. Good morning. And this is the way that I start my morning, by taking fresh, raw, organic, living wheatgrass, still in the tray, cut it, and it's nature's abundance right from the soil into my body in less than 2 minutes. Isn't it amazing? When was the last time you were able to go out into your garden and to take a vegetable and cut it out of the earth and bring it in and get it in its most concentrated form into your body? Well, that's what we do on a daily basis. Wheatgrass is a complete living food. Everything that the body needs in terms of a metabolic process and all of the things that your body needs are contained in cereal grasses. And by juicing them, we are extracting the essence, the concentrated life force energy out of raw cereal grasses into a juice and into our body. And I'm going to put it through our juicer here. Isn't it amazing that wheat seed, the seed from which we grow these plants, is able to extract the highest level of nutrients from the soil of any seed? Some 96 different nutrients out of the soil, out of the 106 or so available. And look how quickly we can provide what has really been called the nectar of life to your health. It's so yummy. It's so good. I invite you to try this.
Hi, and welcome back. As you can see, it's been a big mix of tapes for this evening. We have a couple more tapes. I've got one more of mine that we're going to show before we finish tonight. And that tape I call Eternal Circle. I've named the title of it, and it's some video feedback, which I've learned from Mike Hall, and you saw him in one of his tapes earlier in the show. A variant I do is I've actually built a giant kaleidoscope for my camera, and so I add that as an element, and then just see what comes out of it. And this is one segment, and I've set it to some of the music by Barbara Chalkupa, which is called Eternal Ideas. So I get the whole concept becomes Eternal Circle. So let's watch that tape and see what we can see.
Stuff you did in the studio that time you were hacking in the studio?
Yeah, this is when my sister and I were doing some of the second time I came in and did stuff in the studio. The first time I did, I have all the crystals.
Very cool.
Hi.
I hear him yelling,
And
"Fade the audience."
Okay, well, it's a little nutty here, but we've got Bill, and he's got a tape for us tonight too. So let's see, what do you have, Bill?
Yellowstone.
Yellowstone.
You have to read the hats. It's come to see the hats. This hat may say Jackson Hole, but anyway,
This is Bill's most favorite place in the whole world.
it is the only place that I go when I want to escape from human beings and just be out there and commune with nature and, you know, running water and trees and life and all that good stuff, you know. So anyway, this is 3 minutes and 22 seconds of kind of a best of thing. It's a little uplifting music and a lot of quick editing and just a kind of fun winter look at springtime in Yellowstone.
Okay, we need a little spring with the snow outside right now. Hi, and welcome back. Welcome back from Yellowstone. So that was Bill's tape, and you can always count on Bill bringing some beautiful pictures back from Yellowstone. So that's our night of watching tapes from members of the Somerville Producers Group. And you've met a whole pile of members, some new, some older. And this has been Dead Air Live that you've been watching. I'm Jean Flanagan, and we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. And we'll see what we have then. Good night.
Oh my god, this guy is so funny. He's talking about being an English major.